Hey everyone, it's Jim
and Charles
from Mellow Amps, and in episode 7 we're going to talk a little bit about how to solder and other stuff. Well, we're going to talk about the kit we've put together to help you learn how to solder and do other stuff.
and the series of videos that some of you have probably already noticed.
Yeah, but first, caution everyone, electronics and tube amplifiers can have very high voltages present, which can be lethal. Exercise extreme caution when working around them. Always consult a professional technician when in doubt. And also, be careful, soldering irons can pose a heat and fire hazard, and you should exercise extreme caution around a soldering iron.
Never leave it unattended, and get one that has an auto-off feature.
Yeah, that has saved both of our bacons more than once. What is a bacon anyways? Is it your rear end?
I think so.
Anyways, so if you're interested in assembling, or better yet, building a high-quality audio system, learning how to solder has got to be one of the most useful skills you can acquire. Even if you don't ever want to build your own tube amp, having electrical soldering skills can be very handy and save you some serious cash. To make learning to solder and other kit amp building skills easier to acquire, we've introduced a very affordable mini kit of parts that we actually use in a new series of videos on Mellow amps. We'll put a link below to the playlist. Okay, let's take a quick look at the kits to see what we've got involved. Now this is a bag of the parts.
And this is how it'll arrive.
And they're all going to be a little different because what we're doing is we're using obsolete PCBs and we're pulling parts that they're basically dead stock in our inventory. Sometimes we're pulling really good stuff as well because we just want you to have them to try.
Have a proper component to practice with.
Yeah. So, and this is the remnants after some of the how-to videos.
In a way, this is the assembled kit.
Well, I only did one
piece of each.
One piece of each to show an example. So the videos didn't go on forever, of course. But so you can see how I actually showed how to install a capacitor. It got bent. Well, it was lying around on my bench. But I showed how to install a capacitor that doesn't actually fit the correct space. And one of the harder jobs is getting a tube socket onto any PCB. So we show that in detail. But, even simple things like getting a diode on, a resistor on, and then other things like how to make a long splice. There's actually a long splice in this loop of wire here, how to make a nice tight twist for a filament supply, how to make crimp-ons, how to shrink, very basic stuff. But if you're new to this,
it can be intimidating. None of it is particularly difficult once you get into it, but this kit is going to help you get some experience, get a little more confident with it, and before long you're going to be throwing kits together like they're nothing.
Yeah, now soldering skills are not something that we're born with, and it's essentially an acquired skill. So you need to know sort of the technical hardware side of that, and that's fairly easy. In these videos that we've made, I actually show you, I spell out what kind of soldering iron I recommend, what kind of solder I use. And each of us use different solder on our lab benches.
Because we each prefer different kinds, and that's perfectly normal.
And methodology. So we show you all of that. But what will make you very proficient, so good at actually making the solder joint, and fast. Fast is not something most hobbyists are concerned about. And on our benches, though, we need to move quickly because we've got a lot of solder work to do when we build prototypes. And we're now actually going to be building completed kits in the new modern line for sale. So it's a good thing that we've got our chops. But your quality of your solder work and your speed will all come with
Practice.
And that's why we've got a whole bunch of junk in the bag, well, parts, for you to just fill the board. And the more practice you get, the better you'll get at it. And eventually one day you'll come to your bench and it'll be second nature. What's the temperature I'm going to set my soldering iron at? No, you'll know right away. I'm going to dial it in at 360 C, which happens to be about 680 Fahrenheit. So whatever you work in, most soldering irons that are temperature controlled will be able to switch. So the switch between Fahrenheit and Celsius. So
whatever you want to work in is fine. Yeah.
When I'm doing a build series, which is the actual kit, so it's normally kit number 1 that I build for the build series. We film it. It becomes a playlist dedicated to that particular kit. I actually call out the temperatures in Celsius first and in Fahrenheit second.
And if he misses it, I try to put it on the screen.
Yeah. But I mean, by the time we're about a third into the build, you really pretty much will have your chops already.
Yeah, you get a feel for it over time.
But temperature, man, time and temperature, it can make a huge difference. Mm-hmm. Anyways, the kits are extremely affordable. And
I think that's not over-exaggerating enough.
Well, we lose money on every single kit we sell.
Yeah. A limit 1 per customer.
Yeah, because it does take us a bit of time to put them together. It actually took us a lot longer than I thought it was going to be to put together the first batch.
Yeah.
But anyways, and if you don't want to pay the shipping, just find some tubes or some tools. We have actually good building tools in the store that aren't expensive, and get your order up to $150, and then you won't have to pay any shipping even on your little bag of parts.
Yeah, or whenever the new modern line kits are released, you'll be able to buy one of these along with them as well, so you can practice on it first before putting one together.
That's right. I mean, the new website's not up and running, but when it is, you'll have a drop-down menu, and everything will be there, including the learn to how to solder kits and the tubes for your kit amps. Anyways, that's coming. I think I gave away a little bit.
Yeah. Well, these how-to videos are preceding the build series for the new Rocket preamp, which we're going to be starting on as soon as possible, and that means that the test builder kits aren't going to be soon behind.
Yeah, I think I actually have to work all weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds horrible.
Which means you have to work because you do the editing.
Yeah, sounds horrible.
Anyways, hopefully that helps everybody out. This is Jim.
And Charles.
From Mellow Amps, signing off. Stay safe and have fun, everyone.